Every kid is different in life, and some are good with their hands, some are good with their mind, and just finding that fit for each and every kid to help.
So much better if we did this and this and this, but nobody ever asks me, and now they are asking me, and so I have all kinds of ideas, and I'm so excited about just the opportunity.
Chance to meet kids where they're at and teach them the way that they can actually learn, and not just teach them Common Core stuff. It teaches them how to be a good citizen, how to be a person and grow with life.
How do we make it so important to them that they want to be here every day, that they think, I've got to get to school because I've got this to do. I've got to get to school because I've got this to do. I'm important to my school and I need to be there. Not, I just go to school, I sit in a desk, and they slam whatever they're teaching they week today. It's got to be, I'm important, I go to school for this, I'm learning this, I've got to get better at this. So there's opportunities for us, and I think you'll see that in our teachers, and I think you'll see if we're able to completely work with this redesign and we get the support we need and we get the things that we want to do done, it'll be a whole different experience than I experienced, than anybody has experienced, because it's right now.
Times at conferences, the parents say that the kids are not ready to get up in the morning, let alone ready to eat breakfast, and so by the time they get to school, they're raring and ready to eat breakfast. And I probably have all of mine eating breakfast each morning, but maybe two. So it's been a great thing for our school.
Imagine the sun is way up in the sky, spreading its golden light and warm rays of sunshine. Feel the warm sunlight on your body.
Deep breath in. And sigh it out. And we talked last week about it's a lot easier to kind of quiet our mind and concentrate when we close our eyes. So I saw a lot more of you closing your eyes today. Don't feel nervous or worried about that.
Get an egg, we're going to open it up, we're going to see whose name's on it, and remember, what did we do that time? Did we have to say something nice about that person? Okay, that's what we're going to do, and if you do a good job, then you can have the treat that's in the inside. Okay? All right, here we go.
I like his shoes.
You like her shoes today?
Yeah. Thank you.
All right. Oh, that's very nice, Lainey. I like good manners. We like that, don't we, Brecken?
I like playing with him and outside and stuff.
Okay, that is very nice. Let's go, girl. You can do it.
I ate mine.
Are you happy today? What zone are you in today? Green zone. Why are you in the green zone today?
Because I'm happy I'm here.
You're happy you're here. Well, that's what we love. Okay, Gilly, what do you want to tell Autumn?
She'll always be my friend.
She'll always be your friend. Well, isn't that nice, Autumn? Did you hear that? See?
This year we implemented Cardinal Connections to our morning schedule. This is a great way for us to start our day. The first thing we do is mark our zone of regulations to see how our morning is going. And then on Monday, students love sharing about their weekend. But it's also an important time for us to discuss social and emotional learning, friendship skills, and even problem solving. Some days we even have time to dance.
For us, it's been really instrumental for them to realize what they are going through, and just understanding their own feelings has been really good for them to really grow from and see other people that may be going through the same thing. So usually we do some days where we talk about these things, we talk about feelings, life, and it works really well. Some days we have activities, and some days we actually do Spanish lessons with one of my students who is bilingual, and she really has a lot to bring to the table with that. So it's been a really cool experience for me personally, and I'm pretty excited to keep going with it, but they've grown a lot.
This year, I really liked how we've implemented Cardinal Connections because I have a group of 10 kids, so I've really gotten to know that group really well. We do different things. We set reading goals every week, and then we check up on those every Monday. And then we do a random act of kindness one day a week, and they really enjoy that. They write little notes, and they'll give it to a staff member or another student in the building. And then we also have a day where we just watch inspirational and motivational videos. So we just have a good time.
I like the chance being with other students that are in senior grade, and you get to know them and the teachers better.
Yeah, I never knew any of the 8th and 7th. Well, I knew some of the 7th graders, but I didn't know any of the 8th graders really coming into middle school. And when we did Cardinal Connection, instead of when an 8th grader would be the teacher for a 6th grader, or help them out, or around the school and tell them what it's like, I got to learn by them.
Just don't be rude. It'll make your life so much better. Yeah. Think of other people. It'll make your life so much better. I think the most common problems on the playground.
So what's a solution we can use to help with that?
Pronoun recess.
Keep thinking.
Okay, so this year, first I'm fortunate to have my own classroom to do different things with social emotional learning. One big thing we added this year was yoga, and our Lions Club actually donated all these yoga mats, and so about once a month we'll move all the tables and put yoga mats in the whole room, and we have a yoga instructor come in, and she does 20-minute yoga lessons and mindfulness lessons with the whole kids. And they look forward to it. They love it. It is so good for them to learn how to breathe and how to take a mindful moment. So very fortunate to have that this year.
Over to the other side.
We changed from having bells to having music play. So at 8:15 our music starts, and the kids are free to kind of roam around, and when the music stops at 8:30 then they're supposed to be in their classroom. And then we don't have bells to switch classes anymore. Instead we just know what time it is, and so we try to make it a little less institutional. Then we have a break time for our kids also, and for about 10 minutes they get to get a snack and kind of hang out in the halls and relax a little bit. And so really have seen a lot of positives with that, really enjoy it.
For PE and music, why is that?
They help people.
They help you? Are you making new friends? That's not in our grade? Yeah.
It's not the best, but I'm okay with it.
Well, I appreciate the fact that through this redesign we've been able to switch up our K1 and 2 classes, because when they come to us we don't have a lot of para support, and it's difficult for us to kind of differentiate instruction. So through this process we've been able to group the children kind of according to maturity, responsibility, ability, kind of more social emotional grouping, so that when they come in, some of them that are a little needier, we can give them what they need. Sometimes when they're a little more advanced, we can kind of challenge them. And it has helped us to we have such a short time period, so we only have 20 minutes, so it's really helped us to be efficient with our time and our students.
Bucket filler and fill someone's bucket, or you be a bucket dipper and to take out of someone's bucket?
A bucket filler.
A bucket filler. Good. So we're going to listen to the story today.
Other kids.
Have you made some new friends? Not in our class?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, because you get to learn more people that's in kindergarten and first grade and second grade.
So the student-centered learning team started meeting last year, and we were focusing more on how we can individualize our students' instruction and meet them more where they are. The goal of our team was to increase the students' cognitive and academic achievement. We came up with 3 major goals that we really wanted to implement in the school. The first was to have project-based learning in all of our classrooms. Our goal was to get teachers to at least have 2 projects per year. The second goal that we had was to start implementing a kindergarten through second grade play-based learning. And then our final goal was just more individualized instruction through various activities like our iReady.
Before I did play-based learning, my emphasis on a teacher, where I spent my energy, was controlling the kids during a lesson. I spent a lot of energy engaging them, keeping them on task. What I learned with play-based learning is my energy more focused on observing them. I became an active learner in the classroom as well. I sat back and I watched, and I learned how to support them and what their needs were, what their individual needs were, because all children are different and they come to us with different skills, with different desires, different passions, and play-based learning gives you an opportunity to engage all the students, to give them some self-direction. Basically, my job was to set up the room with activities that I thought would be engaging, and I put skills in those activities, and then I sat back and watched. I watched how they learned, how they came to me, and how they all learned differently. I found that my focus became, rather than controlling them, it became supporting them. Emotional learning, social learning became a key emphasis that stood out. The kids needed to know how to work through real life problems. They might be building blocks and a friend comes and steals your blocks or knocks your tower over, and the whole room could feel the chaos. And through the teacher directing and talking to them, I could help them through those situations. And what I found was over the months and throughout the year, pretty soon I didn't have to support them. They could solve those problems themselves, and our room became peaceful and joyful and playful. And I feel like I grew every bit as much as they grew. It's been a great experience.
Tell me what you're making.
I'm making a snowman.
I call it a snowman on a stick. Jude, is it easy?
No.
No? Is
I
it
got it.
challenging? This is challenge cook.
Look. Oh yes, that one.
Hudson, can we do things that are hard?
Yes.
Yes, we can. We try.
Do we put the peach on the top?
The peach is the hat, like a stocking cap.
So, do we put the almonds?
Put the peach on the top.
I can't do this. Like this? I can't do this.
Jude, at school, do we say I can't? What do we say? I'll try. Try getting those bananas on. It's okay if your hands get dirty. You can wash them.
I can't do it.
Nolan, how's yours going?
I am a snowman.
A particularly joyful learning opportunity that I observed in my play-based classroom was I had some new Lego sets and I put them out for the children, and I was beginning to show them how to follow directions and read the manual when they asked me if they could do it themselves. And so I just handed over the little Ziploc bag full of Legos and I sat back and watched. I saw a group of boys organize themselves. I saw them communicate, and they all just naturally fell into some leadership roles and listening roles. And they stayed on task for a good 20 to 30 minutes. And as a teacher in my mind, I thought, it would have been hard for me to engage them in a lesson for that long, where they would have sat still and listened, but they did this on their own, and that's the beauty of a play-based classroom. I mean, we try to get our kids to sit and listen and to increase their attention span, but if we give children the opportunity to do themselves, they can do it, and they get more from it, and I think it's more meaningful learning, and it's exciting as a teacher to witness and be a part of. The way I would describe it is, before my classroom, I think my kids were sprouting throughout the year. In a play-based classroom, I feel like the kids are in full bloom. They're totally engaged, they're totally following their passions, they're joyful, they communicate, they want to communicate, they want to be heard, they want to share, and it's a great environment to be in. I'm not sure I could go back to a teacher-directed, structured environment.
It lets you study things that you're interested in, and it's it's kind of a fun break from school too, because you get to actually work on something that you can choose, and you have to just like do what they're forcing you to do.
I like Redesign because you can work on a certain project that you would like to work on instead of working on something that you would prefer not to work.
I like that we can find new ideas, like something that I never thought I'd do before. Like, I don't have the time to make anything, but for my project I am making something, so I can find the time out of my day to try and do that at home.
Just get time to create basically whatever you want.
What are you doing for your Genius Hour?
I'm doing art. I'm doing art because I love creating stuff, and I just think art is a fun thing to do.
And Genius Hour because you get to basically make up whatever project you want, and you can do whatever your heart desire. I made melted crayon art. These originally was going to be eyelashes, but no, it's just a spectrum of colors you see. I thought it was pretty fun. My favorite part was probably melted crayons and coloring in the eye. Genius Hour just teaches you a lot of things, like how to make your own project, how to plan things, how to basically think how you're gonna make it. And it's very fun.
I like that. I like that we incorporated the art because I know a lot of people in middle school and other grades like doing art, and I think it's just a really fun subject to learn, and that you'll be able to show other people what you know and teach others. And it's just a fun thing to look forward to on Fridays or whatever day you get to do it.
Being able to do Genius Hour has helped me to know what I want to do when I'm older. I want to be an exotic veterinarian, and so I've been learning about all these different types of animals and how they survive, and it's really taught me a lot. And I think Genius Hour is good because it can help you find what you want to do for a job, a hobby, just stuff like that.
So we started art in the middle school this year. Long awaited thing happening for us, something we've needed a very long time. We have never treated art like it was part of a curriculum, so it doesn't look like it's important, even though it is an essential language in the human race. Everyone understands art, no matter where you're from. And it's a very important communication tool, a very important problem-solving tool. So we started this year finding a place in our schedule to put art, so we have it every Friday. But in addition to that, we've also tried to incorporate it into our classes as well, so that our students can understand that art is an essential part of their life, regardless of whether they're doing math or science or reading. At the beginning of the year, there was a lot of trepidation with the students. They hadn't had art for a while. They thought there was going to be a lot of requirement that they be, Picassos. But little by little, they seem to have relaxed. They're finding it as an avenue of self-expression, an avenue of looking at something and figuring out how to represent it on paper or in sculpture. Some of the things that we've done that I have enjoyed so much is bringing art into a science room. At first glance, that seems so contradictory to do something like that. But our students, they made metal sculptures using all the properties of metal. We had somebody come in and talk to them about design in sculpture, and they had to incorporate 2 to 3 elements of design in all of their structures. I was so proud of them, and I think they were very proud of themselves. I think they discovered that science could be a place of creativity, as well as just learning facts. So I think we're very delighted with the things that have happened with our students this year. Really looking forward to next year. Things that we've kind of tweaked and thought about doing a little bit better, like to incorporate more into our classrooms. And we've only gone through certain elements of design. We'd like to incorporate more next year. So, big time for us. Looked forward to this for a lot of years, so very, very happy that we have middle school science now.
That's correct. And you said it right. Hooray! You guys are really good at this, actually.
Quarter Mexican.
Okay. Okay. El hombre. What does el hombre mean? When I shout it out. Man. Guys, you shout it out. Raise your hand. It's the man. Okay. Tinley.
My hand is raised.
You started this call. What? The man. Correct.
I haven't said it.
The man. Yay.
leadership at Colwich, which is a great thing on Fridays where we mix 8th grade through kindergarten together. I'm part of Community Cardinals, which means I get to go out in the community and take my kids to go and meet people and do things, which is great. One thing I've noticed in my class is my kids are more comfortable with other teachers that maybe they haven't had before. So my kids know who the middle schoolers are, and being a second-year teacher here, I know some of the middle schoolers who I wouldn't have a chance to know otherwise. And I think it just brings them together in different things and helps them know kids that they wouldn't know because of such a big age gap, and helps make our school feel more like a family.
Another fun part of leadership teams is the weekend kickoff team. What this team does is we plan a whole school assembly almost 2 times a month. The kids are in charge, and they get to make announcements, read out our Gotcha Awards, which are awards for kids that are going above and beyond that teachers see that they can nominate them for. And then they also plan whole school activities and whatever is going on that month.
Project-based learning now that I've noticed, and I think they really enjoy that. Helps them get involved. It helps them to really enjoy what they're doing, and just gives them a different chance to really explore things that they might not have explored before.
I think the thing that I have noticed the most about my kids is the real world applicability and the difference that that's made in them taking ownership of their learning path. They really get enthused with their jobs. They really get enthused with picking, kind of having more of a ownership of picking their learning path, and it has really been effective and more efficient in my opinion.
My son, who is in 4th grade, says his favorite part of the day is during Cardinal Connections. He feels it helps him get energized to start his school day. He also raves about weekend kickoff. These best loved moments of my son's school week are my reason for being a huge supporter of teacher redesign process.